Good afternoon, everyone, and good morning for Patrick. Yeah. So I'm Kevin from the Aligned to End Plastic Waste, responsible for the global thematic investment for design for circularity. So very glad to have the chance to share Alliance work to end plastic waste in the environment by the business solution and investment. Right. Let me have a quick introduction about my career. So I think for my whole journey is related with the packaging and the plastic design. So I think in the first phase, I did design packaging for the cosmetic brands. And then we designed the packaging for the whole value chain. But no matter what kind of design, during that phase, we design the plastic packaging is for protection, product protection, and also for sales. At that time, we don't realize we should design for circularity until I think we started with the Alliance. We realized the big problem of plastic pollution in the environment. So I'm very excited to be part of this transformative opportunity to design for circularity. Why we Alliance established? Let me share a bit about the context about it. So we live in Shanghai. Most people in the city don't realize it's so worse, it's so big issue for plastic pollution in the environment. So even for myself, before I joined it, I don't think it's so realized. Plastic is a very good material. That's why they use a lot to help for modern life. But if you don't well manage, it go into an environment, then it causes a huge problem. It will be a global issue. So you can take this photo. This is the photo I taken from the site, our project in Indonesia, in India. And I think for when you see it, you will see that, wow, it's a so huge problem. How we can solve it then? If you think this problem is only related with the city, or only is happening in the community with big population, that's not correct. Even I can share you that this is the photo I myself. This August I go to the Qinghai and Tibet highway to study what's the waste issue. You can see here, in fact, you can see the information. It's called a place called Kekesili. It's no man island. No one lived there. But I use only less than 10 minutes. I get so many waste about. So for this side is from I take the Photoshop from a doctorate field called Journey in Plastic. This they go to a very remote island. They found the impact, like seabirds. They think the plastic is food. All goes to the stomach. And also the whales are trapped by their thing. So it means this has been a global challenge. And it also go to everywhere in our Earth. So we need to take, I think, for quick action from the observation. But if you also from the data, you also will see the series we need to take action. You can see if we don't take direct action now, the mismanaged plastic will grow from 91 million tons in 2016 to 239 million tons. 2040 is not far from now. Yeah. So I think just even Earth it will go to the leakage to the ocean with 3 times. So all this context, I think, for make us to take actions. That's alliance has been established. I will take a little more details later on. So, but today I think we talk innovation, we talk investment. I just want to show this is also a big investment opportunities for investors. So first is a significant challenge that being taken action, no doubt, is a lot of work to do. But I think also they present a unique investment opportunities for investors. So World Business Forum, EMF, and McKinsey, they have did down a joint study. They found if we get the lost plastic waste in the environment back to the circular economy, this is a value 120 billion value of market. So what this 120 billion means for the industry, you can see that in 2017, the whole global plastic industry value is 522 billion. It means this new market is 20-30% of the global market. So this is, I think, big enough for a lot to participate, come to this new area. Another news I want to share is this is, I think, last week, our colleague from US, in Silicon Valley, they share this news to us, and a lot of investors, he said plastic recycling has been led by this Boston-based Lux Research organization as the top 3 emerging technologies, which is going to watch in 2020, and this is going to be change the world over 10 years. Maybe we don't feel too like we maybe have a lot ranking, but you can see what's another 2. You will see the why surprise the industry. Another 2 is autonomous vehicle and natural language processing. These 2 technology, I believe, a lot of people already realized the value for them. But now I think plastic recycling is one of the 3. So I think this is for today's most investor, I think for the plastic industry recycling, plastic circular economy is a big and emerging market. So it means the competition is not there, and there's still a lot of opportunity to play. And you're going to bring huge, tremendous societal impact. You will contribute significantly to the ESG, Sustainable United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So I think this will be big for we should pay attention as the investors, as the responsible investors. So this is, I think, my first message. And also Alliance to End Plastic Waste is founded in this context by business. Alliance is established and launched in London last January by our 27 member companies, and with a clear mission to end the plastic in the environment. How we're going to fulfill this mission? We develop solutions, business solutions. We catalyze investment. That's, I think, to our strategy, how we can be successful. And Alliance, you may see a lot of organization in the market. What's the difference? How we, I think, can really help end plastic waste? I think we have 4 features. First is to address this issue. We really cannot solve it by a single solution, by a single company, even your huge company. So they need the comprehensive knowledge. That's why Alliance has combined the expertise of the whole value chain. That's by our member companies. So when I will share the member company list, then you see why I mean we have the expertise of the whole value chain. The second is quite different with other organizations. Is we do on-ground project. We invest infrastructure by ourselves. So in fact, if put in simple, Alliance is a We do investment. We are investor as well. The third one is we realize plastic waste has value. We should make a circular business model. That's, I think, quite different with us because we are mostly led by business. If you have a sustainable business model, then the business can self-standing by themselves. Right? This is a very important principle. Last but not least, we cannot solve by our business sector, cannot solve by our. So we can develop and demonstrate the solutions, but we do need to engage with the bigger ecosystem. That means the government, right? The government, development bank, academia, and all the stakeholders. So we as the catalyst, and we need them to step in to scale up it. So another important, I think, unique feature I want to share with you Alliance is that first, we are Alliance led by the CEOs of our member companies. Now we have 47 CEOs. They all form the global CEO to lead this company. I think based on the main business, the old company, they still spend enough time on Alliance to direct the work for Alliance. So it also means Alliance we are an NGO, but we don't want to lose the agility of business and also result-driven or organization-driven, all these business features, right? Second is that we are not just advocacy. Alliance, we have $1.5 billion committed for American to investment. This is, I think, quite different, and also we can make impact from my Alliance work. Then you can see here's a list of our member companies. Just as in Dr. Zhou has shared, several London partner is also our members. We have the 3 officers. That's the CEO from Basel, P&G, and Sweat. I think we have Sweat here. They're also our officer. And P&G's CEO, Dave Taylor, is our chairman. So he still lead organization. And US, if you see from China, we also have 2 Chinese members. There's Sinopec and the Red Avenue. And more Chinese, I think, companies also consider to join Alliance. You will see a lot of good news, I think, for shortly. One thing I want to mention is that all Alliance project, our investment decision, final decision is decided by the 18 CEOs in the exec committee. So these CEOs will make a final call, which project, which startup we are going to invest. Yeah. Based on not beyond our members, we also benefit a lot from our strategic partners and supporters. You can see like UN and also USA, a lot of global organizations, they are strategic allies. They play a very important role to help replicate our projects globally with their network. I think that's our purpose for us. We want to become the first one to invest, to de-risk for others. And also you can see the top consulting firms, they are also supporters. They also play a very important role to help to prioritize where to focus, to help to do the landscape study. I think this is a global challenge. Their work is very important. We really find a place to make the impact. This one, I think, will be more relevant with our investor, how we can collaborate together. So Alliance, we're going to invest $1.5 billion over 5 years in 4 strategic areas. I think if by the allocated percentage, the larger piece infrastructure, mostly in the developing country, but 60% will go there. I think this is also because the infrastructure is costs a lot. So mostly it's the government to do it, right? But it's only 60%. The second part is innovation. The second part, 20%, because we believe innovation is really the change maker, the game changer. They should play a very important role to drive the circular economy. Then is education, 15%. We'll talk about the exact same. Education is very important, the return if you make the change. Last but not least is with 5% we're doing cleanup, but we don't do the ocean cleanup. We do the cleanup is that we have 10 rivers that contribute to the significant major leakage to the ocean. So we want to set a fence and to have the top 10 rivers to stop the leakage to the ocean. What's the strategy about lines? How we're going to stop the leakage? I think we'll do two parallels. First is we should stop the leakage, especially Lake Country. Usually they don't have their basic infrastructure. They dump into the ocean, the beach. That's a problem. We should help them to build the basic but sustainable infrastructure to get the lost waste into the system. This is, I think, for not fancy, not like high tech, but this is very important. Then the second part is we use help move up the hierarchy to close the loop. So I will do it in parallel. So, and based on this principle and strategy, Alliance will do our investment by themes, 5 themes, or a project will link to these 5 themes. The first one is engage with the cities. It means we'll just link back with the challenge we should get on the waste hierarchy. Means we're working with the Vietnam, India, and also in Indonesia. We have them to build a basic infrastructure. Then they cannot leak to the ocean. And this is not so hyper, but also the development bank is like it. Like in Indonesia, we also have a development bank to do the co-investment on this part. Then we talk about advanced recovery and recycling. So this part is most focused on the chemical recycling. This chemical recycling, I think, is a very distributive technology because they can make plastic to plastic, same quality with virgin plastic, right? So we have evaluated over 160 technology in the world. Then we come like top 50 in our watch list. We have invested 2 in Indonesia, and we quickly will concede another one in US. I think China is also the market we're going to concede. Like Dr. Zhou has shared, in China is going to low cost. You're going to drive the circular models. So we want to, like China can have a really demonstrate project for chemical recycling for the world. Then follow is the design for circularity. I shared them more in previous. I will lead the investment. Before we don't concede in design for circularity. But now if you consider we should do circularity, then provide tremendous opportunity for the upstream innovation. I think this is return is high. You can design, when in design you already avoid the waste. And also in design you consider how to make the recycling easier. The fourth thing is creating value for recyclers. Currently, if you have the demand, people will supply. But how to create the demand for the recycled plastic, go to different high-value application. This is quite key. We have a lot of interesting projects in this area. So last but not least is societal behavior change. Then about human people, as in citizens, about the community. This is, I think, for also super important, how to engage with their citizens, them to proper behavior, let them understand by them. So here, in fact, we also a lot of investment about AI. AI can to engage with the consumers, how to get them to the behavior. Because AI, a lot of big data can measure it. Otherwise, it's quite difficult. How do you see make the change or not? So this will be our 5. stream. And this page I will share what's our principle. Aligns with our investment, we don't require financial return to the startup. We provide grant and low or no interest loan for them. We measure the impact. We measure the plastic waste, the diverted. We measure the population, they improve the life. We measure the co-investment of capital. So, but though we don't require the financial return, but I think we do require them to have a circular business model. This is very important for our consideration. So you should have a business model. It means sustainable. Past our investment, they still can become bigger, sustainable. So that means also why we should attract financial investor to step in after our investment. That I call sustainable. Same for scalable. If you cannot scalable, I don't believe the financial investor will be interested to invest in. So we should see how clearly how they can scale. Yeah. We can support them MVP, consider the first commercializations. Catalyst, for the is the same what. A lot of this opportunity, but I see a lot of investors first come to mind is risk. You are attractive, but the risk is high. So we are going to bear bigger financial risk to de-risk for the financial investor. Yeah. Last one is circular. We talk about plastic circular economy. We want to fill the gap for the elite solution should be one step forward or game change for the plastic circular economy. That means also criteria for our selection. So another I want to share last is also about the risk, because we are organization, but the investment in global and the waste issue, the solution is very different. How we can make it relevant, successful in the local context. That's why we consider. So we have built a local context. Globally, we have 8 regional task groups, including one in China. They will play like an advisory board for our investment committee, where we consult them. If we do this project in China, do you see any issue? How about the market potential? Anything. So this is about the mix success, we also to de-risk for ourselves. I think for this is making we have the local relevant. Yeah. So I think that will be my last page for today's sharing. I think as a summary, I believe Alliance will be a very preferred partner for the financial investors. Because we can provide very competitive startups from our portfolio, right? And we already have minimized the risk for the financial investors, no matter it's technical, business model, and technical risks, right? So we also welcome the collaboration. So that's all my sharing for today. I'm looking forward we can working together to fulfill the mission to end plastic waste in the environment. Thank you.